What is going on, guys? It's your boy, ThePokéMonarch, and today we're going to be taking a look at a few games from my Justice Blocker deck. I've had some decent luck with this deck before, but kind of playing other decks, I've learned different ways of actually using this deck and actually as well. So it's just me getting, I think, a little bit better at the game and such like that. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're starting on turn 3 right here because I didn't I didn't hit record. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. On my opponent's turn 4 actually, because they have the EX base. They have two guys on the field, the 4/3 of the purple, and then the Oh, they attack in with both. I block, and then he pings me for one on the Rick Diaz, gets rid of it. They bring out another the and then it's my turn. I bring out Striker Pack, the 2/4, just because it's a little bit beefier, so that way I can block something. I don't block the first attack, and they decide, I believe, not to attack in with the other two. So that's actually pretty good for us. I was just thinking, I'm not gonna block against the 4/3. I probably wouldn't have blocked either way if they started attacking in with the smaller guys first. But yeah, luckily for me right here, he doesn't have the Amuro Ray for the Gundam. And then I'm able to bring out my Ale Strike Gundam with the Kira, send back the purple dude, and then I'm deciding right here. I'm like, do I want to attack? No. I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm gonna kind of try to pick apart his board as he builds it. Because I mean, blockers, they're good at taking hits and then hitting back. You know what I mean? So now he has two units on board that can attack, but he brings out the Corsica base token and then the adapt, the purple adapt guy, Barbados. I'm gonna go ahead and use Overflowing Affection on my turn. We're on turn 6, and we're getting closer and closer to being able to bring out that Justice Gundam. I decide that since he doesn't have anything damaged, I'm gonna get rid of the Battle of Aces and trying to decide what I want to do. I'm just gonna bring out the Ale Strike Gundam and pass turn there. I have 3 blockers on the field. Oh, I put the Atherin under it just so that I could block and then still have a little bit more HP left if he decides to attack with something, because he doesn't have any linked units yet. But then he summons out the Barbados. And right here, I'm just gonna opt to block with my token, and then yeah, I just decided 2 cards for 1 card was totally worth it for his Barbados and the Link pilot. Right here, it's turn 7, and I have choices to make. I can bring out Ale Strike Gundam, or I could go aggro and bring out the Justice Gundam, but I decide to go a little bit defensive still because none of his guys are going to be able to, none of his guys on the board right now are going to be able to take out any of these blockers that I have. So that's really good. He can't take it out. He can't take one out with even 2 close combats. Well, he could take. Sorry, he can't take one out with 1 close combat. And this guy just decides to go all in on his board and try to take us out. And we have everything we need in our hand to kind of pick apart his board little by little. We're going to go ahead, and I think we decide to go with Sananju. Yeah, we go with Sananju full frontal, and we're gonna attack into the Corsica base, and he just concedes right there. That was actually like best case scenario for us, so that's really cool. It was a good battle. Right here on battle number 2, I'm kind of deciding if I want to mulligan, and I'm thinking, okay, these overflowing affections in my hand are really good. Let's I think we can work with 1 blocker, and yeah, just go ahead. And right there for my discard, I decide to kind of like get in my opponent's head a little bit by discarding the Sinninju, because I don't need it yet in the game, and I run 4 of them actually. I know a lot of people don't, but I really like the card. Um, I want to get in my opponent's head because he is playing an aggro deck. I want him to think, okay, he has Senunju, which means he's going to be able to take out my 2/1s really easily by attacking into a shield and popping a guy, right? So he has that in his mind now, at least in my head canon, he has that in his mind, and he's like, okay, I have to hit in as much as I possibly can, which I mean is the game plan anyway, but that's a Nanju. That's a Nanju mindset, dude. We have the Ricky D's on board. He tries to attack into it, and I just close combat his guy. He has a kind of useless guy on board. He brings out the 4/3 Gelgoog and a the new G-Fred common. So next turn I striker pack for the 4/2 just cuz I know that I'll be able to take out the Gelgoog with that striker pack token. Just trade for it. And then I can take out the other one with the G-Fred with the Rick Diaz. And just trade in 1-for-1 on cards. We have similar hand advantage. Now I have hand advantage, but he has field advantage. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and overflowing. And then I'm going to bring out my Elfrith. I have five shields on board, which is good. But, I mean, who knows what's in this guy's hand. He's going to go ahead and attack in with a supported guy. I get an Atherinzala to hand. It's my third Atherinzala in hand. And then, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and it's going to be our turn. He doesn't want to go full on in because his guys are not going to make it past my Elfriths. I go for Justice Gundam. I go Atherinzala. And I'm going to attack over his Zaku, his starter deck Zaku. And then I'm just going to start kind of trying to like what do I do here? Oh yeah, I just start like aggroing his board. I attack his what's it called? The Zaku 2, the Char Zaku 2, because I know that he can't get a token without it being paired or linked or whatever. And then I just end up I put a Atherinzala under my Justice Gundam, the Fatum token. I put a Athenzala under it just so that I can take a hit from one of the 2/1 guys. And I get Striker Pack. He summons out another G-Fred and he passes turn. Right here, I'm just gonna go all in. I attack with the Justice, get over the shield. Elfrith goes in, take one out. Elfrith goes in, take one out. The Striker Pack token goes in, take one out. He just got two really good bursts. I'm really hoping that he doesn't have a base right now because that would kind of like ruin everything. I'm just going. I don't suggest doing what I'm doing right now in general, because at any point he could have gotten a base and I could have been screwed over right there. But or at least the last one could have been a base and I wouldn't have been able to get through with the Fatum token. But yeah, that's two in a row wins. Let's go ahead to the third battle. Usually we do third battles on these. At least I say usually, but we've only done one of these so far. This is our second episode of this show, I guess we would call it. But yeah, battle number 3. I keep wanting to say duel because you know me, I'm totally into Yu-Gi-Oh. So we are up against another green deck. They bring out the Zaku 2 from the starter deck. I bring out my Elfrith because that was actually the only battle. This is the only battle where I actually got to decide who went first. So I decided to go second because I think in the 2 battles I went second. I was like, you know what? It felt kind of good. But yeah, sorry for the cough. So on my turn 4, I just bring out a Rick Diaz. He's gonna start attacking in, I believe, right now. I do not want to block right now because I don't want to get got by that Rick Dom. I want to keep as many shields against this kind of deck as I possibly can. So he attacks in with the Zaku 2. He's gonna put damage on my Elfrith. And then he's gonna battle evases it. So I'm not gonna block against that thing. And then if he attacks in with the Zaku 2, I'm probably not gonna block with that either. So yeah, I just close combat that thing. Moving forward, turn 4 again. Striker pack. And I'm just gonna pass turn there. I want to be able to close combat something if I have to. So here he brings out another Rick Dom. And I am not going to I'm not gonna block against a Rick Dom. Like hell no. I close combat his little guy, and then he passes turn. We get the Ale Strike, so we're gonna throw a Rick Dom back to his hand, and then just attack over the other one because it is a threat. Yeah, we don't want that thing staying on the field. Right there, I could have gone in on the Relula, but I just in these battles, I've been kind of taking like a slow approach on things. I kind of want to be able to block if I have to and attack in when I have the most opportune moment to. Um, right here, I decide to block with the Rick Diaz because that way I get it down. I get his Kshatriya, his linked Merida Cruz Kshatriya down to 2 health, and I'm able to just go in with my Sanunju full frontal, attack the opponent's Relula, and do 2 damage to the Kshatriya, and that leaves us at the same amount of card advantage, basically same amount of life. He gets a Hamon Karn, and right here I'm just like, oh god, please don't have the Quibbly. Please don't have the Quibbly. Please do not have Quibbly. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, he brings out his Rick Dom and passes turn. Takes a while thinking about it too. I go ahead and bring out my Justice Gundam, bring out my Athranzala, attack into the Rick Dom because I can. And he close combats the token, which is kind of unfortunate. But he has nothing on board, so I'm just gonna go in on his shields. My thought process is like, okay, most of his stuff is probably high level. So if he is gonna take out one of my guys, he can go ahead and just take out one of my guys. Like if he summons a Quibbly, most of these have, or the all 3 of these guys have enough life to survive. Like the ping, I believe. If he wants to attack over my things, attack over my things. I really don't care at this point. I know I'm low on hand advantage, or well, there is no hand advantage for me. But he brings out G-Quux Omega Saikamu, the new one, and he does the damage to my Sanunju. I'm gonna go ahead and attack in with my Sanunju right now, and do 2 damage. And then I decide to attack in with the Justice Gundam as well. And right here, I bring out the Rick Diaz and put a Athranzala underneath it, just in case if he tries to attack one of my big guys, I can block with the Rick Diaz, and it's gonna kill his Omega Saikamu. So he's thinking, really thinking. Brings out another, and I don't think he has the Nyan, so he's gonna attach a Hamon Karn. So I'm going to take a damage. He's going to attach a Hamon Karn and take out my Justice Gundam. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and... Well, I was going to block just so that it could kill my Rick Diaz and take itself out at the same time. and then he has one resource left. He's not going to be able to take out a Shinunju, and that's just game. So in general, I hope you guys enjoyed watching these battles. If you did, please be sure to like the video as always, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I really enjoyed making this kind of content. Actually, it's a lot of fun. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.